Hey, good morning, guys, and Goose here, man. Come back at you with a Saints video. This is recapping some of the free agent moves that they have made so far, so far this offseason. And the Saints came in this free agency period, but not a lot of money. Saints were one of the teams, one of the teams that had the least amount of money to spend. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they work these deals. Every team, they get especially the good GMs, they get creative on the ways on how they're going to figure out these moves, how they're going to figure out the money and stuff like that. So let's look at the. I'll just go over. I just put a list together. I'll just go over the list that I made from top to bottom. So let's go over Drew Brees. Drew Brees came in. Where there was talks of was he going to retire? Was he going to come back? And if he does come back, what kind of deal is he going to take? So Drew Brees signed a 2-year deal. Uh, it was worth 50 million and average out 25 million dollars a year. I think I read somewhere where his base salary this year is only like 2 million, and 23 is going to be a signing bonus or something like that. GMs get very very creative on how they can get around this the salary cap, because salary cap is really what does it hinders a lot of teams, players you can keep, because you can't keep everybody, you can't pay everybody, and that's what free agency was intended for, was to get everybody on a level playing field and make it more competitive, which it is. NFL, of the four major sports in this country, football by far has the best system, because you can't go over the cap. It's not like basketball where you can go over the cap, pay a luxury tax like you do in baseball. You can't go over the cap in NFL. You have to stay under it, which I think all leagues should do that, but that's for another video. All right, we got Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders was signed late last night for the Saints. One second. Look up something here. 1 second. Yeah, Emmanuel Sanders signed late last night. It was a 2-year deal worth $16 million, and it was up to 19 he can get. So I think I like this signing. I think this signing is a very very good signing for the Saints, because it gives them a number two receiver. It gives them a number two receiver, and something that they desperately needed. Because these last few years in the playoffs, you've seen teams take out Michael Thomas, and the Saints have had no answer to that. They've had nobody to step up from the nobody else besides Michael Thomas to step up, and so they really needed somebody else to step up and to be the number two receiver, and they haven't done so. So with this Emmanuel Sanders signing, that gives the Saints a number two receiver. I personally still think the Saints should go out and draft another wide receiver, because it's just because you need to you need another a young guy, another young pass catcher to come in here and to pair with Michael Thomas. Once Emmanuel Sanders, Emmanuel Sanders is up in age there, but so I think this is a good deal for the Saints for Emmanuel Sanders. But I still also think they should still go out and get another receiver in the draft. All right, then we got Andreas Pete. Andreas Pete, if you ask a lot of Saints fans, they're really not happy with this signing. It's a 5-year deal. I think he's got. I'm looking up the cap numbers here, because he got a lot of money. So if it was a 5-year deal, and see, it was worth $57.5 million, 11.5 million per season. A lot of Saints fans think he's a problem offensive line. Yes, he has been. He's had some issues, but I mean, I'm gonna trust Mickey Loomis and Sean Payton on this one. Other than people on a message board, because they just type. So I'm gonna trust them, that they know what they're doing, and they see some kind of future with Andreas Pete with the Saints. So so it's a 5-year deal. So he's going to be here for a while. All right, then we got some small signings. You have Justin Hardy with a 1-year deal. You got a fullback, Michael Burton, for a 1-year deal. I mean, Michael Burton's a fullback. The Saints use fullbacks very rarely. Justin Hardy's probably going to play special teams a lot. Um, and also coming maybe as a nickelback, stuff like that. So then you have JT Gray. JT Gray has been a special teams player for the Saints. They re-signed him for a 1-year deal. These special teams guys are very, very important for a football team. Everybody talking, they're not the flashiest, of signings. It's a special teams guy. It's not something that's going to wow you. But hey, look, special teams they play a very pivotal role into a lot of teams. If you have a bad special teams, odds are you're not going to be very good. Look at the teams that have bad special teams. Usually that cost you games at the end, cost you games in the playoffs, stuff like that. So special teams are very, very important, and I like getting JT Gray locked up. It's only a 1-year deal. I guess I'll revisit it next year. All right, so we got Malcolm Jenkins. Malcolm Jenkins comes back to the Saints. He was here with the Saints from 2009 to 2013. Saints won a Super Bowl when he was here. So Malcolm Jenkins left, went with the Eagles, won another Super Bowl. So he's able to come back. He comes back on a 4-year deal. I'm just wondering how many more miles he has on the tire. He has been playing for a very, very long time. So how many more miles on the tires does Malcolm Jenkins has? If he can come in and give us some stability in the defensive backfield, which the Saints need, outside of Marshawn Lattimore, who's he's still Marshawn Lattimore's still iffy, but he's the best the Saints have. But so Malcolm Jenkins can come in here and give us some stability in the defensive backfield. It'll be a plus. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Janoris Jenkins, the Jackrabbit. He's getting like 10, $11 million this upcoming season. So if he's going to stay with the Saints, he's going to have to restructure that contract. There's no way the Saints are going to pay him 10, $11 million, $11 million. So it's going to be very, very important, it's very, very interesting to see what they do with the Jackrabbit, because I would love to bring him back, because just to give somebody else to go on the other side of Marshall Lattimore, since Eli Apple is going. Eli Apple, a lot of Saints fans hated him. I thought he played okay at times. He didn't play well in the playoff game. He had some bad games in the season, so which is a bad taste in the mouth. So it was probably good that he went on and moved to the Raiders. All right, so we got David Onyemata. This was a great keep for the Saints on the defensive line. It's a 3-year deal. Let me look up the numbers here real quick here for y'all, because I think this is a I love this on it, because it just he's a yes, I'd say where's the contract at? Yeah, 3-year deal, $27 million, 18 million guaranteed. I love this deal because he's had 9.5 sacks on the defensive line the last I think three years. So I like this signing. I like this signing for David Onyemata to keep him with the Saints, and just to really keep up that defensive line, the continuity. All right, then we have the long snapper. Long snapper. Hey, what's the big deal about the long snapper? Hey, long snapper is pretty important for a football team. They snap the punt, they snap the extra points, they snap the field goals. You need somebody that can snap the football. You don't want somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. So the long snapper, it's a thankless job. Nobody knows who you are, but they know you. They definitely know who you are when you give a bad snap to the punter, to the field goal, extra point. So they know who you are then. But it's a thankless job. So Zach Wood is going to stay with the Saints. It's a 4-year deal. So Saints haven't Saints haven't had any problem snapping the football on special teams. So this is a good keep. All right, now what the Saints can do in the draft? Now, the Saints don't have many draft picks. Let me look up the Saints draft pick, because we don't really have that many. I think we only have like 5 picks. I know we don't have a second round pick. Let's see. Come on, phone. Bear with me here. I know some of y'all already know how many picks we have, because I'm still looking. All right, so let's see. Finally, all right. So the Saints only have the 1, 2, 3. They only have 5 picks, because they have a first round pick. Do not have a second round pick. They got a third round pick, a fourth round pick, a fifth, a sixth, and no seventh. So they don't have a second round pick. And those second round picks, usually you find somebody, you usually find a starter in those second round picks. So I don't like not having a second round pick. Just it is what it is. Maybe they can find a way to get into the second round. But if, with the first round pick, it'll be interesting to see who they pick. Do they pick best player available? Do they pick best team need? The Saints are going to have a decision to make with that first round pick. They pick around, what, 24th, I believe. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Saints do with the 24th pick. Personally, I think what the Saints should do with the 24th pick, man, because we don't have a second round pick, so this really complicates things because the Saints do need a linebacker. The linebacking core is iffy. Anzalone can't stay healthy. They lost AJ Klein, so um, uh, I'm torn on should they pick a wide receiver or a linebacker with the number one pick, depending upon who's available at that time. I still say a wide receiver, but I mean the Saints do need another linebacker because that's one weak spot on the team right now is linebacker. So let me know what you guys think, man. What you think of the free agency? If you're a Saints fan, what you think of the Saints free agents that we signed, the keeps, the pickups, stuff like that. What's going to happen in the draft? Saints only have we don't have a second or a seventh. Like I said, I don't particularly like not having a second round pick, but it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think, man, and I will talk to you later.